On the 26th of August, the paracyclist Aditya Mehta was allegedly humiliated by 3 CISF personnel at the Bangalore airport when he was asked to remove his prosthetic limb. Following this, he wrote letters to everyone, right up to the Prime Minister. 2 months later, nothing seems to have changed. His experience at Bangalore airport was humiliating and insulting. The system considers those with prosthetic limbs a threat. But the question is this: don't those with disabilities have rights as well? And surely in 2016, technology must exist to respect these rights.
32-year-old Aditya Mehta was forced to take off his prosthetic leg for a security check at Bengaluru airport on Tuesday. In his hurry to put it back so he could board his flight to Hyderabad on time, Aditya's leg was left bleeding.
We are fighting for our rights. We need body scanners. India doesn't have money to buy body scanners. If it is like that, you give me in writing, I will collect money, I will collect chanda and get all these things, because this is like a humiliation.
The silver medal paracyclist says this has happened to him for a second time in 2 months. Mehta had complained then and multiple authorities had acknowledged, but nothing changed. The CISF in charge of security has said they can't make exceptions from the standard operating procedure for celebrities, VIPs or even athletes. The CISF in charge for security says they haven't received any formal complaint from the concerned person. Prosthetic limbs are not exempted during security checks at airports. The CISF personnel are trained to take due care of the elderly and the differently abled. The big question is, will the authorities ensure and do the needful for these smoother security check-ins for differently abled people, or will they continue the security check-in procedures as they do for able-bodied passengers? In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagaraju, Divya Vishwanathan for NDTV.
All right, there is the issue of security. There is also the issue of the rights of those with disabilities. Joining us, Aditya Mehta, who you saw in that story, Javed Abidi, convener of the Disabled Rights Group with me in the studio, and N.R. Vasan, the ex-DG of the Bureau of Police Research and Development. I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us. Aditya, I was reading some of your posts. You were actually left bleeding today, right? Because it took you more than 40 minutes to take out your prosthetic and fit it back again. You're carrying an injury and this entire process left you bleeding. Is that right?
Yeah, first of all, I thank NDTV for supporting us. Basically, it is not about me. It is about the whole community. Thank you so very much. And most important thing, I have never posted anywhere or never spoke that there is I should get exemption. Security is for everybody is the same. I should never get VIP treatment. I have never asked for VIP treatment. In all my letters, in each and every places, whatever I have spoken to people, I have asked them to make it sensitized, first thing. Second thing, there is multiple equipments like body scanners, full body scanners. There are many things in all my letters I wrote to each and every person, including DG BCAS, DG CISF, Civil Aviation Minister.
Did they reply to you? Did they reply to you?
No. Only I got a reply from Prime Minister's office that we have received your petition and we are forwarding it to Secretary Civil Aviation Minister.
So it went into orbit, did the file, right? Nothing happened.
Yes.
Because what he is asking for is actually, it's nothing extraordinary. It's a little bit of respect and a lot of technology which exists. We are not a poor country. This is stuff that can be bought. There are non-ionizing sensors, there are full body scanners. We run some of the fanciest airports in the world, but we don't have basic technology because nobody cares about people with disabilities. That's the basic point, right? Nobody cares.
Yes, very true. Because
I'm just asking Javed Saab that question. Aditya, one moment. Yeah.
No, that's absolutely true, Vishnu. And at the outset, let me tell you that I have been privileged enough to travel quite a lot, and I can say this with some humility that I have been to almost all the airports that you can think of in Europe. I have been in and out of JFK in New York. I have been to sensitive places like, for example, Beirut in Lebanon. I am saying this on record once again that there is not a single airport in the world where a person like me has been asked to get off my wheelchair, or a person like Aditya would have been asked to remove his prosthetic. Now, something for Aditya and colleagues to know is that it is an issue which is not just limited only to amputees. It is not just a question of prosthetics or orthotics, it is also an issue which wheelchair users face. So, the only care to be taken here is that when we talk of full body scanners, that will not work, for example, in the case of a wheelchair user like me.
Yeah.
The technology which is used worldwide, and that is the point which you have made. It is not rocket science, we do not have to reinvent the wheel. So, how is America doing it? How is Europe doing it? How is South Africa doing it? How is Israel doing it? I mean, come on, security of course is an extremely important, extremely sensitive issue, but it is not an issue which is limited to India. And that is the point on which we have been fighting with the Ministry of Civil Aviation, with the CISF, and with the what is called BCAS, the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security.
I just wanted to take this across to N.R. Vasan, the former DG of the Bureau of Police Research and Development. Mr. Vasan, thank you so much for speaking to us. The bottom line is this, sir, technology exists, we just haven't adopted it. Isn't this more a question of our insensitivity than it is to some sort of security issue?
You see, the security on one side is of paramount importance, and
Yeah, go ahead.
And you see, the constables who are posted at the airports, now they have to follow the standard operating procedure. As per the standing operating procedure, any person with a prosthetic limbs, that has to be subjected to X-ray. Now, I couldn't hear the audio earlier, but as I understand that there is a technology available by which we can provide X-ray machines by which the prosthetic limbs can be X-rayed without asking the person to remove it. At many countries outside, they have also brought in the entire body scanners, which we are yet to adopt because there are certain health issues.
Sir, there are no health issues.
Now,
So this is just
very
the
well
point, sir.
understood.
So this is just the
So
point.
that is-
There are research which has been done. There are RTI
Very true, there is
applications
no
of
health
which I have
issue,
a
sir.
copy. There is no health issue, sir. It's used around the world. The government has not actually gotten around to the process of acquiring it. It's an excuse to say there are health issues. The amount of radiation
I have
generated
also
by these
got the same
systems
kind of
is,
thing.
See,
is much lower than what has existed in the past. Go ahead, sir. Yes, Mr.
I think we are not
Sir, one second, sir.
disagreeing.
I have
I am not
many
disagreeing with
applications
you.
with me.
It's only a question of.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Vasan, before
There
Aditya.
are many-
Finish your
I think,
statement, Mr. Vasan.
there is there is no disagreement on the issue. We have to provide at the earliest possible X-ray machines and other devices, including entire body scanners at the airport, so that person with special abilities are not subjected to any kind of difficulties. Second thing, which is extremely important, we have to train our staff posted at the airport, retrain them, ask them to undergo refresher trainings so that they appreciate the need of these people and treat them with the due respect and due regard, and don't
No,
put
no,
them
Mr.
to any
Vasan,
difficulty.
Mr. Vasan,
These people, I mean, I'm not sure how to use. I mean, they're
no,
they're us.
you are not even.
It's not
you are-
these
you are-
versus us. They're all us.
You are not even seized of
No,
the
first-
issue. No, I don't grudge you, because I mean you have been invited to the show and you have come. You obviously have not done your homework, sir. This issue has been pending, at least to my knowledge, since 2014. We have raised it. I repeat again, we
Sir,
have raised
one
it.
second, it
no,
is
no,
since
एक second.
2013.
Okay,
Yeah, since 2013. In fact, BCA's commissioner told me that this issue is pending since 2013. We are working on it.
2013. So now,
Yes.
Aditya.
See, I'll just, I'd just like to bring attention to the panelists.
Let me just complete.
Let
And
us-
let me just give you the background. No, sir. Wait a minute. You are just parroting the same thing all over again. What I want Aditya and other colleagues to know is that the issue has been pending since 2013, 2014. We have been in dialogue with the CISF. We have been in dialogue with the Ministry of Civil Aviation. We have been in dialogue with the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. A whole manual has been prepared. I have brought the manual. I hope the camera is able to catch it.
Yes.
This manual was prepared on the request of the Civil Aviation Ministry
Give me
and on the request of the CISF. a whole screening guidelines has been prepared. Now, months and months of extremely hard work was put in by 4 colleagues, Rajesh Bhatia, Shivani Gupta, Smriti Bhatia and Suranjana Ghosh Aikira, on the request of the pro bono, by the way. If the Ministry of Civil Aviation or CISF would have hired a professional agency, it would most probably would have cost them lakhs of rupees. We have done this on their request, given it to them way back in 2014. And all the things that you are talking about, the training of the CISF personnel, this, that and the other blah, 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 they will follow what is the standard operating procedure. And unless the SOP is resolved, and I have been saying this from the top of my lungs for the last 3 years, why don't you set up a small committee of 3 people, send them abroad? My simple question, which I told Vishnu a moment ago, is how is Europe doing it? How
It's
is
being done
JFK
across the
doing
world.
it?
It's not being
How
done
is
over
everyone
here.
else doing
Look,
it?
I'm sorry I need to interrupt because I'm out of time, but I want to end this debate with just one statement. It's what the Supreme Court has said in the Jijak Ghosh versus SpiceJet case recently, and let me quote from it. Non-disabled people do not understand disabled ones. What non-disabled people do not understand is that people with disabilities also have some rights, some hopes and aspirations as everyone else. Let's not delude ourselves into an argument on security. That goes without saying. No one is saying security at our airport should be challenged in any way. But let's open our minds and recognize that people with other needs, people with disabilities, need to be respected just as we are in our airports and elsewhere.